Okay, what's up, y'all? Yes, I'm back. I'm here for another one. And I would like to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel, who comment and like my videos. Okay, so today I'm thinking about trying something new. Gotta excuse me, I just was trying some of my famous sweet potato pie that I make. Yes. All right. And I'm thinking I'm gonna do some makeup while I tell y'all a little story. Hmm? How about that? Okay. Right. Little brushes here. Hope everyone is having a great day. I am. I'm having a wonderful day as usual. Yeah. I'm starting this group, this wellness group, and I wanted to talk to y'all about that a little, about the little things that I want to, go on inside the group, giving out good information and things to uplift and keep you in a really good space, like in a positive frame of mind, because we all know how life can be, and sometimes, it's just life and things that go on can have you, falling off your square, as to say, like, with having just negative thoughts, and being in a negative frame of mind. And sometimes we got to catch ourselves before we dwindle into the negativity, It's like a spiral down. So, we don't want to do that. We want to rise up, you know, into positivity, So yeah, so that's what I would like my group to be about. A whole lot of positive things and positive thoughts and different things that you can do to secure that in your life, Like maybe how about maybe like meditating, I used to meditate a lot, I used to always meditate. Like I had a routine. I get up in the morning, I'll work out about 10, 15 minutes, right after I work out, I will meditate, jump in the shower, then get something very nutritious to eat, and then I would start my day, you know. Well, continue my day because I started it when I opened my eyes and and decided to work out. But lately, I've been baking a lot and this and that, and I have fell off a little of working out. I'm not working out as much as I did, and now I'm just saying to myself, like, I can feel like the difference, Yeah, I definitely can feel the difference. I've been still eating healthy and everything, but that workout in the morning, that meditation was a great big part of me just getting centered and and grounding myself, and having like that positive frame of mind, pushing out all that negativity. And since I had stopped doing that for a while, I can feel like when things don't go my way, or or there's like a trial or a bump in the road somewhere, it's like it really affects me in a negative way, when before I just used to try to figure out how I'm gonna get around this bump, you know problem solving, instead of just getting frustrated and throwing up your hands and not exactly quitting, but really just taking a really negative approach towards it, and letting it like just change my attitude, my way of thinking, and things like that. Yes. Hold on for a second, guys. And yes, and also, I wanted to say, like, I wanted to give you an example of what I mean. Like, okay, so last night, I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna make some body butters. I was running low, and I said, yeah, well, this will give me a good opportunity to record how I'm making my body butters now, because I'm always improving. One method that I may used to use, probably was okay, but I found out a new way of doing things that was even more better, and also maybe learned about different products and things that I could add that will benefit the body and things like that and your skin. So I just incorporate them into my new formula of body butters. So I got all ready and I was so excited to video my process of making my body butters. And I mean I did it step by step, but then I had some camera problems because I couldn't I guess turn the camera. You know how you can have the camera facing you and then you could turn the camera and have it facing the products that you're trying to record. It wouldn't do it. So I was just like, okay, so that doesn't work. So I had to maneuver with the camera one way the whole time. And I'm telling you, I did a great job. Yes, I did. So I'm just sitting there, I'm recording, and I'm thinking everything's going great. And lo and behold, at the end of the video, all of a sudden, shuts, it just completely like shut down, went blank, and then it rebooted itself. And then I'm like, okay, well that's no problem. I'm just going to continue where I left off at. Since I had already completed most of the process, and the only thing I was trying to do is show the last end of the product and how I store it and things like that. And I just recorded that part, and then I went back to the other video and it was not there. Yes. It was saying that the file wasn't, I guess the file didn't sometimes, I guess, upload or some kind of mess, or wasn't supported by this file wasn't supported by, I guess, the network or whatever. I don't know. But it's a lot of technical things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to myself, well, where's the video anyway? I mean, I don't understand. I record all the time from this, and I never had no problem before, but it wasn't supported, and all that work that I put in videotaping was lost, you know? And I said to myself, well, I don't want to start all over again because I already had a big pile of I already had a nice amount of body butter that I just made, and so I just said to myself, okay, so I'm going to improvise. I'm just going to talk about the steps that I made. But before that, I started to get very, very frustrated and pissed off. Like, what? Yes, I did. I did. I'm cussing at the phone. I'm saying a whole lot of mean things at the phone, like the phone has feelings. Maybe it do. You never know. But yeah, and I'm just still on the phone, like, yeah, how this is some crap. I go up and vent to my daughter. I'm like, yeah, I just don't believe this. This doesn't make any sense at all. I even contacted my other daughter. I had to send her a message about what happened because it was like a 2-hour process, of the whole me making the body butters and just pausing and making sure I say the right things and had the camera angled right so they could see the actual product that I how it make and how it changes over the different processes and things like so it was a lot. It was a lot, and I just couldn't believe that none of it came through onto the recorder, and I was just like, okay. So yes, I went from 0 to 100 real quick, you know what I'm saying? And that wasn't the way I should have reacted. I should have just took a deep breath, a couple of them, and say to myself, okay, this is fine. Maybe you can do another video and just explain the steps and then show the product at the end. But you know how we want to be able to show exactly how we got the product, what each step and things like that, me mixing and stuff. We want that. But for some reason it did not come up, and I think I handled it a little irrational. Like I think I could have been a little better with it, but I'm working on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I decided, I said, maybe I should start a group because I know I'm not the only one who go through things like that, really frustrating things, and you like, this is a setback or things ain't going the way you would like them to go. And so you get a little frustrated, upset, and maybe even get a little angry and mad, actually mad, like do mad things, but yeah, so I'm thinking maybe this group can, help not just me, but a lot of people out there who sometimes feel like, dang, I got the short end of the stick this time, and we need just to find different kinds of ways of dealing with that and being okay with it and just finding out another solution to the issues we're going through. But yes, I was so upset. I'm like, all the work I put in and I don't even have it, and then already be going through a lot of other things because, sometimes the world isn't fair. We all know that, right? We wish it could be sometimes at least, why can't things be fair? And sometimes I just, I let that bother me also sometimes when I shouldn't. You know, and one time things like that didn't bother me because I had already had an understanding about the world and the way it was. And sometimes you just work with what you got. Hey, like they said, when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade, you know? But yeah, I have to start understanding that, not everyone is going to be proud of you or even like you. And that's okay, you know? And that's all right. I mean, I never had a problem with that anyway because I really do love myself enough for the whole world. And that's sometimes the attitude you have to have. You have to be able to like and love yourself so much that some no, other people's opinions does not matter. You know. But yeah. So instead of me just and I mean I said a lot of mean things. You know what I'm saying? Because your ego be bruised a little, and you like, yeah, okay. Let me tell you something. You want to dish out the same kind of frustration that you've been handed, but I don't think that's the way to do it. I think when someone pushes like frustration onto you or obstacles or things like that, I think you got to rise above and be able to deal with that in a better way. Like I think you should maybe maybe breathe some, take a couple of deep breaths, go into a meditative state and just really think about what's going on here. Like really step outside the box of the circle, whatever you're in, and really look at the situation and say, am I being tested? Is they trying my patience? Okay. And you say to yourself, sometimes it's better to laugh about the whole mishap in the situation instead of just really getting angry and getting pissed off and thinking the world is against you and things like because we could get deep with it, you know what I'm saying? This phone is against me. It's people on, you know what I'm saying, other phone on this in this phone messing with my stuff and this and that. You know how we can really get obnoxious and just our imaginations can run with us and we would think about all kinds of things. Yes, we can. I know I did last night, man. I really went there. And that's one thing I'm just working on how to combat and control my frustration emotions. Just really getting better with that, because sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. You can't control other people, I don't think so. And you may could, until you master that, don't let them control you and your emotions and your feelings. Always try to have self control. And that's what I'm working on. I used to have great self control, but I went through something a few years ago. I mean, it was like a whole life changing experience. And so I'm just really just getting back into my place, into my being as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And because yeah, it was like a few years ago, it was like I was scattered in pieces. And now I slowly but surely had to, collect them all back together and arrange them in the right place to build me back up again. And that's what I'm doing. Yes. Yeah. Maybe I needed that, you know what I'm saying? It was something that I needed probably to elevate to the next level or just become a better me, you know? I think this whole thing is nothing but really a learning process that a learning thing where every day you're learning how to cope with different things that come into your life. And once you master these things, I guess you graduate to the next level, and then more things will come to you that you have to overcome and master. And then, you get to the next level, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, our ego and just our attitudes and sometimes our temper can knock us down a couple of notches, and we just got to start all over again, right? But don't feel bad about that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some people take a lifetime to learn certain things, and some people never do. So, but yeah, definitely. And also, I also wanted to create this group because some of us still, have a problem understanding like the effects of certain foods that we eat and how that really can change your health and also it can drain you. Also, it's different foods that you put in your body can drain you. And if you want to sustain your, excuse me, your, you know, just a healthy attitude, a healthy body, you know what I'm saying? If you want your skin to be beautiful and glowy, sometimes we have to watch what we put inside inside our bodies because that plays a tremendous part on the way we look on the outside. You know, like at one time, I used to I didn't eat as much because when I did eat, I would feel sluggish and tired and feel like I was drained after eating certain foods. So I said to myself, well, I'm gonna actually get on a new kind of journey and I'm just gonna start eating things that are different. I did a lot of research in there, and this was years ago, and the internet wasn't pushing it out as much as they is now, because now you can find a lot of things about health. Everybody's talking about the new way of life and living and this and that, and it's up to you if you want to join it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm telling you, it will change your life. Now, I know some people they love meat, but you have to be careful about certain meats that you eat and and you know and and be careful about where you get it from because let me tell you something. You can think you're getting good meat and the meat would be like really terrible, maybe old, or even some kind of processed meat or something that's not even meat that look like meat. It's deep now. Like I've been seeing a whole lot of these. I don't know how true they are, but I do take heed to it and I try to look at ingredients and see where the meat came from. And I know years ago when I had got married, it was a beautiful ceremony and everything. And the man that I married, he was like, after we get married, we're gonna have a feast, and I'm gonna actually get a lamb, and I think it was a lamb or a goat. I'm not sure. Sorry, but he said, he's going to get it alive and then have it slaughtered and cooked right there in front of him. He said so he'll know that the meat is good, and that's the way he was. That was his culture, actually getting the animal and slaughtering it and, and breaking it down, from there and roasting it. And let me tell you something. I was like, kind of like, what? Oh my goodness. Because, this was like back in probably the early 2000s and that wasn't heard of. Well, it probably was heard of, but it wasn't a part of my culture. We just went to the supermarket and got it. It was already prepared and wrapped up in plastic. Okay, but he actually did, and when he arrived with that meat was absolutely delicious. Everyone prayed. Everybody was talking about that meat, saying, "Oh, then this meat is delicious. Where did he get this meat from?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he did something, and something about his culture, and they did, and they slaughtered the animal, and they did this, and that. It took him a minute, but they did that. Mhm, mhm, yeah." And the meat was absolutely amazing. It was so tender. It was fresh. It tastes fresh. It smelled good. Yeah, so you have to be mindful about how you eating your stuff now because and the kind of meat that you getting, you know. At one time I was just eating like chicken wings because I knew they still had the bone in it and I kind of figured that was the best thing to real meat. If the bone was still in the meat, at least you knew that came from some kind of animal if that's what you like, you know. But yeah. Oh, how do that look? Oh, let's see. Let me do this side. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's like sometimes I have one eye done correctly and the other eye just be sitting there looking totally different. So I gotta make sure they right. But yeah, right. Mm. Yeah, that's good. All right, yes, guys. I put a little bit of eyeshadow on, but and we all need is like a little encouragement sometimes, because the way the world sometimes and everything that's be goes on and all the, just the aggravating things that happens in life, things that we have no control over. The only thing we can control is how we react to it and how we deal with it. And that's one thing that I think we really need to focus on. The fact that we need to know how to react to certain situations and different things that'll help us get over things also that maybe traumatized us, maybe hurt us in the past, and maybe how to deal with each other and know how to forgive each other. Yes, because I know people have hurt me and went against me, and I'm like, I want to hold the grudge. No, I don't want to. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to have any dealings with them. They this and that. But I can understand that. But it's a time when you just really have to forgive, because once you forgive and release all that animosity and anger, you will feel 100% better. I'm telling you, you will be in a better place for yourself, your health, and you won't, and when you release all that animosity and that tension, you will have this beautiful glow that come up upon you because you have released all that anger, all that built up frustration and tension that's in your body because I've noticed like somebody when someone likes to be walking around and this and that and I used to have like a lot of resentment inside me, resented a lot of things. And so I'm walking around and my face is all balled up because of this resentment that I'm holding on to, you know? And people just say, "Why don't you smile? You such an attractive person. You walking around with a mean look on your face." I said, "Oh, I look mean." They're like, "Yeah." And I didn't realize that I was walking around with a balled up, mean face. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes that comes from, just life and us not being able to accept what has happened and being able to say, okay, and dealing with it and just moving on. sometimes you just have to move on from certain situations that may have hurt you or brought you down, this is that, and sometimes you have to say, okay, that happened. I had no control over it, but going forward, I'm going to take heed to it and not make that same mistake. And I'm not going to hold onto that anger and hurt. Cause for a long time, I resented a lot of things in life, and I used to, and and it was like, I'm never in it. I ain't doing, and so, and then all that had me like, mouth all tight, face all scrunched up. And it wasn't until I actually took a deep breath and said, you know what? And I had read a couple of books that, simulated the things that I have been through. And I seen how, okay, and I say to myself that I see that in myself. I see this situation that I had went through a similar situation, and now that I am seeing that someone else dealing with it a certain kind of way, I say to myself, no, that's not the way to deal with it. When I could say that at one time, that's how I would deal with something. You know what I'm saying? The way that wasn't beneficial or healthy for me. You know what I'm saying? So then and that's why I read a lot, because when I read these books and I see myself in these people and see the kind of mistakes they making and the way of thinking that they have that really brought them into that kind of situation, I'm able to place myself outside. That's the way of me placing myself outside the box or the circle and understanding why my life and things like that been the way they was, because I had that same frame of mind, or I've done them same things. And so I was able to like maybe sit back and take heed and learn like, yeah, like, oh no, I mean, I read a couple of books and I'm saying to myself, oh man, I can remember being in this kind of situation. And now that I'm seeing someone else do the things that I do, and I can see the wrong in it, saying like, no, I need to correct that, because that's something that I don't want to be spilling out and don't want myself to be portrayed as. And it's not healthy for me. So I'm definitely going to learn how to deal with this a lot better and things like that. But it's deep though, yeah. You know, sometimes you have to do that. And I'm going to tell you something, you'll be a better person for it. So sometimes you just have to forgive and move on, and really just sometimes we have a problem because we can't we see things in other people that we wish we had in ourselves, and that gets us a little envious or jealous or something like that. Because let me think, I was like feeling some kind of way not too long ago, and let me think, what was it about? And I wouldn't say I was jealous, but maybe I was, but I think we all flow through that kind of emotion sometimes, and sometimes we let it get the best of us. I remember back in school, they said they are just normal human emotions that we all have, and we all will just have to learn how to deal with. You know, in a I guess in the, what is it called, like a reasonable and self-conscious way. You know. Logical, yeah, yeah. You have to be logical about these emotions and see what they really trying to do to us sometimes, because people can spill jealousy in you, you know what I'm saying? To have you reacting and feeling some kind of way about another person when that's not even your feelings or emotions about that person, but someone planted that into your mind, and now you done ran away with their feelings and emotions of someone. We have to be mindful of that, you know. Because at times it may not even be, you probably don't even feel no way about that person, but it's someone else felt about that person and then spilled all their feelings about that person onto you. You gravitating for it, you connect, you sucking it all in as though it was yours. And now you walking around feeling some kind of way about somebody, and they probably an awesome person, probably very, very good people, but you can't see that because you following, or you allow someone else to pour another thought into you that wasn't yours. We have to be mindful of that also. I see that going on a lot. Like, it's unbelievable, you know. I call them recruiters. It's like the old saying, my enemy is your enemy. Like, no, that's not the way to think. Like, a mature person knows, oh, just because you don't like that person, that's fine, but I have my own opinion of that person, and if I don't feel that way, it's fine for me to like them. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I really hope I have a lot of people join this group and and just share their knowledge about life and things that'll help us overcome obstacles that we're facing with and with us being and this is for men and women, but as women we really need to really um come together and maybe so we can support each other and give us the and share the knowledge and things like that to so our young can be raised properly and have the knowledge they need to succeed in this world in the life that they're leading. I think that'd be just perfect for us, and that's something that I really would love to do if anyone's willing to share that and be able to come together and maybe we can, not just online but in through Skype, maybe we can get together physically and maybe have lunches and things like that, and maybe even start a maybe like a book group and we could start reading different books that will also help us elevate and maybe deal with life on life terms and benefit from it. Yeah, definitely. I think that would be awesome for us, you know. I know I can learn a lot from a lot of women out there, and I'm pretty sure they can learn some things from me, and we can learn from each other, you know. Had a little bit of that sweet potato pie on there, and yeah, when I make my sweet potato pies, I don't really I put a little bit of cane sugar, and it's not even a half a cup, it's less than a half a cup. Yep. And also, like the little brown sugar that I use is really a little bit, not even, it's less than a half a cup. Because sweet potatoes are normally just sweet by themselves, but yeah, sometimes I get that that sweet tooth, and I wanna, yes, so I try to bake as healthy as possible and not use as much sugar and things that I know that would be detrimental to my body. And that's also, and maybe we can also get together and maybe work out sometimes, even if it's on Skype or whatever online, or even in person. Maybe we can team up somewhere and maybe get an exercise group going or something like that, or start walking and maybe even start running. Getting together maybe in the park sometimes and have our meditations and things like that. And if that's something that you would like, I would love for you to join my group. Just message me or whatever, leave a message and whatever, and I will respond. I think that'll be perfect. Now I'm in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, and if it's anyone who's in this area who would like to hook up and start, doing little things and maybe sharing information. I mean, I would really, that would be delightful. It really would be. And I think we can all just benefit from that. All right, so that was it, guys. And I would like to thank you for joining me and allowing me to share this time with you. And peace. And remember to subscribe and like and comment.